Hello and welcome. If you're here, it's likely you're a caregiver for someone living with ALS, and you already know how demanding the days can be. So this explainer, it's really for you. It's all about a gentle shift in how we see things. We're not talking about big, grand events, but about finding, nurturing, and even capturing those small, meaningful moments of joy that can sustain both of you.
You know, this quote here really gets to the heart of it all. It's about being present and letting even small moments become gateways to joy, comfort, and connection. See, this isn't about trying to erase the challenges of ALS. It's about finding what still brings a spark and then gently building little daily rituals around that spark. It's about turning something ordinary into a real emotional touchstone.
So the big question is, where do we even begin? Well, the first step is all about finding joy in the small things. We're going to look at how you can spot those simple, resonant pleasures that are still accessible, and then figure out how to weave them into the fabric of each day. And you might be surprised by how simple it can be.
When you look at these gateways to joy, their simplicity is what's so powerful, right? We're not talking about complicated activities at all. These are sensory experiences. The sound of birds, the feeling of a warm breeze, just watching the clouds drift by. The source material has this wonderful suggestion: create a simple, maybe laminated joy list with 5 or 10 of these items. Then you can rotate one into the day, maybe by playing birdsong through a speaker or just opening a window for a few minutes.
Okay, so once we've identified these little joys, how do we bring them into our routine? Well, that brings us to our second big idea, awakening the senses. This is about taking things a step further, transforming routine care from just a series of tasks into something meaningful, a connective ritual. It's a really powerful way to reframe the everyday.
So instead of it just being a daily bath, think of it as a spa treatment. Instead of simply getting dressed, what if it became a moment for music? How? Well, the examples from the source are great. Play their favorite jazz music during the routine, or use a single drop of lavender lotion during grooming. You see how these tiny additions can completely transform the experience? It makes it feel special and dignified.
So, how do you know what's actually working? It really comes down to this simple process. First, you introduce something new, a scent, a song, whatever it is. Then, you weave it into a routine you already have. Then, and this is so key, you just observe the response. Is there a smile, a relaxed posture, maybe a little nod? Finally, you log what you see. This isn't about creating more work for yourself, it's just about learning their evolving language of joy.
A log can be incredibly simple. Just a quick note in a notebook or even an app on your phone. So why does this matter? Because it helps you track what truly brings comfort and delight. It gives you a concrete record, which makes it so much easier to recreate those positive moments and even share your insights with other caregivers or therapists.
Now, as we all know, ALS can be incredibly isolating, and that's why fostering connection is just so vital. So let's talk about shared moments, about how we can nurture social bonds and share stories to combat that loneliness, even when mobility and speech are limited. I mean, these are such practical, beautiful ideas for bringing the world in. Looking at old photos, that reinforces a person's identity, their whole life story. And I love this one from the source. Having a friend send a short video just describing their morning walk. What a simple way to share an experience. Pre-recorded messages from family can also be a profound source of comfort, especially on those really difficult days.
All right, this next idea, this one really ties everything we've discussed together. It's the power of a choice. We're going to explore the profound, dignity-affirming impact of restoring that feeling of agency, no matter how small the decision might seem.
This comparison really says it all, doesn't it? The shift from a passive experience to active participation is, well, it's everything. It's the difference between things happening to you and you having a say in your own day. Being able to choose the music or decide between the porch and the window, that's such a powerful way to maintain a sense of self when so much other control has been lost.
So how do you make this happen, especially with communication challenges? It's all about asking simple, direct questions. The source suggests using tools like laminated cards with just 2 or 3 options, or programming choices into an AAC device. This makes decision-making accessible and totally stress-free, empowering the person you care for to be the director of their own experience.
So, we found ways to create these fleeting moments of joy, but how do we make them last? That leads us to our final idea, capturing that joy. It's about making these beautiful moments tangible so you can revisit them, especially on the tougher days.
And this is such a wonderful concept from the source material, a nature journal. It's not just a scrapbook, it's more like a sensory collection, a photo of sunlight on their hand, a leaf from a tree you sat under together, a feather found on the porch. It becomes a physical anchor to a positive memory.
The process is simple, and it becomes a ritual in itself. You capture the moment, you add it to your journal together, and then you revisit it. Just imagine, on a difficult rainy day, being able to open the journal and feel the texture of a leaf from a sunny afternoon. It's a way to bring that feeling right back.
And really, that's the main takeaway from all of this. As the source says, even a shared look under the trees or the scent of lavender can hold deep meaning. Joy, in this context, isn't loud or complicated. It's found in the quiet, shared moments. It's in the details. And through presence and creativity, daily life can be grounded in these small but incredibly powerful, sustaining joys.
So we'll end with this question. Now, this isn't meant to add pressure, but to empower you. It's just a gentle prompt to find one small thing. Maybe it's opening a window to let in the breeze, or maybe it's just playing one favorite song. Because it's these small, intentional moments that, when you weave them all together, create a life of meaning and connection. Thank you for joining me for this explainer.